I was watching rockets go to the moon when some young doctor, fresh out of medical school, smelling like textbooks and too much confidence, told me to put down my eggs and my red meat. Said my cholesterol was going to kill me dead before 60. I smiled, nodded politely, and went home and fried up a pork chop. That doctor's been in the ground for 30 years. I'm still here, still sharp, still walking my own land every morning before the dew dries off the grass. I've outlived 3 family doctors and 2 nutritionists who told me I was eating wrong. For 60 years, they rewrote our plates, took out the fat, put in the sugar, took out the real food, put in the boxes, the powders, the spreadable goop in foil packets that don't grow nowhere in God's country and never will. They convinced a whole nation of strong, capable people to be afraid of an egg yolk. An egg yolk, think about that. And what happened? Everybody got sicker, fatter, more tired, and more confused than a June bug in a snowstorm. The hospitals got bigger, the pill bottles got more plentiful, and the food companies got richer. Funny how that works out. Don't buy the snake oil, folks. Here's what I've eaten my whole life. 7 things. Simple things. The Lord's own grocery list. Every morning, before sunrise, I drink 2 cups of black coffee. No syrup, no whipped cream, no $5 nonsense with a name I can't pronounce and a calorie count I refuse to look at. Scientists call it rich in polyphenols and chlorogenic acids. I call it the Lord's morning bell. It wakes up the brain, scrubs out the fog, and tells the body it's time to work. My mind has been running clean for over a century, and I believe that good black coffee has had a hand in it every single day. Those fancy sugared up drinks at the chain stores, that's the devil's work in a paper cup with a sleeve on it. You're not drinking coffee, you're drinking candy with a caffeine chaser and calling it a morning routine. Your body and your brain deserve a whole lot better than that. Start the day honest. My grandmother picked berries every summer without fail. Blackberries, blueberries, wild strawberries, so small they'd fit on your thumbnail. We didn't need gummy bears or fruit chews or anything wrapped in crinkly plastic. We had the real thing, and we knew it was sweet because the earth made it sweet. Scientists say berries are loaded with polyphenols and anthocyanins that fight inflammation. I say God put the medicine inside the color. The darker the berry, the harder it fights for you. It cools the slow fire inside your body, the kind of quiet, creeping fire that burns a person down from the inside over decades. That fire is what ages you before your time. You're sitting there clutching pearls over a small handful of blueberries while washing down a bag of neon orange crackers with a diet soda. Get your priorities straight, friend. The berries aren't the problem. My daddy ate sardines out of the tin standing over the kitchen sink. We thought it was a poor man's habit. Turns out he was eating brain food before the scientists had a name for it. They call it EPA and DHA, the omega, 3 fats your brain is literally built from. I call it the oil that keeps the machine from rusting. When your brain doesn't get enough of it, it starts seizing up, same as an engine running dry. You forget things, you slow down, you lose the edge. Eat your fish, cheap sardines, wild salmon, mackerel, doesn't matter. Your grandfather knew this before any laboratory did. For half a century, they scared us half to death over the yolk. Threw away the best part of the egg like it was poison. That yolk carries choline, which the scientists now admit is what your brain uses to send signals, and lutein, which keeps your eyes sharp. The whole egg is a complete package. Nature doesn't make mistakes. I've cooked my eggs in bacon grease my entire life. Not some pale, flavorless spray from an aerosol can. Real fat from a real animal, and I can still read without glasses. The egg white omelet with no yolk. That's not healthy eating. That's just sad eating. A cow that grazes on real grass, out in real sunlight, converts that sun and that earth into muscle, into iron, into B12. That's a machine more sophisticated than anything ever built in a factory. They told us to eat chicken breast and tofu, bland, thin, colorless things. Meanwhile, a proper piece of grass-fed beef has iron your blood can actually use, not the kind that sits in a supplement bottle getting ignored. It has B12, which your nerves need to keep firing right. Your brain needs it. Your muscles need it. I'm not saying eat a steak every day. I'm saying don't let them tell you that a cow that lived outside, eating grass, is somehow worse for you than something that came out of a laboratory and was shaped to look like meat. That's snake oil with a health claim stamped on the box. My grandmother kept a big crock of sauerkraut going year-round on the back porch, pickles in a jar on the counter, cold buttermilk in the icebox after a hard day's work. We didn't call it probiotic-rich gut microbiome support. We called it food that keeps, food that's alive, food that your body knows what to do with. Your belly is a garden. If you don't plant the right things in it, weeds take over and the whole plot goes sideways. Fermented food plants, the living seeds, the bacteria that keep your digestion honest, your immune system on its feet, and your thinking cleaner than most people half your age. Instead, we've got brightly colored yogurt cups with more sugar than a candy bar and live cultures that probably didn't survive the journey from the factory floor. That's not fermented food. That's a marketing campaign with a spoon. Make yourself some real pickles. Your body will know the difference within a week. Last one, and people always give me the sideways look on this one. Raw cacao, not the sugared up chocolate bar with the smiling cow on the wrapper, not the hot cocoa mix in the tin, the dark, bitter, earthy stuff that tastes like the soil it came from. Scientists say it contains something called PQQ, a compound that fires up the mitochondria, which is the spark plug inside every single one of your cells. I say cacao wakes up the engine inside you that most people let go cold by the time they're 50. A spoonful in your morning coffee, a square of 90% dark chocolate in the afternoon, that's your ammunition. The candy aisles got nothing to do with it. Now, before you go, I want to say one more thing. And this one has got nothing to do with food at all. Everything I just told you, the coffee, the berries, the fish, the eggs, the meat, the pickles, the cacao, that's the fuel. It keeps the machine running clean and long. But a machine without purpose just sits in the barn collecting dust and rust, no matter how fine the fuel is. What keeps a person truly alive, what keeps the light on behind the eyes, is something else entirely. It's faith, something bigger than yourself that holds you accountable and holds you up at the same time. It's family a table where everybody's welcome, where hard things get said because love requires honesty. It's forgiveness, real forgiveness, the kind you give without keeping score, because carrying a grudge is the heaviest thing a human being can load onto their back. And I put that weight down a long time ago, and I don't miss it one day. And some evenings, it's nothing more complicated than sitting on this porch and watching the sun go down slow over the land and thinking, I was here, I worked hard, I loved the people put in front of me. I was honest when it cost me something. I forgave when it was difficult. That right there is the real medicine. The food just gives you enough time to use it. Now get off my porch and go cook something real.